Hello, good morning. Monday, Youth Work Week 2016. Here we are celebrating an amazing week. I mean, for me, I celebrate my career all the time, but to have an actual week dedicated to youth work just really shows how important youth work is. And National Youth Agency putting together this kind of opportunity to be able to share some of these skills and thoughts and feelings is also a brilliant thing. So thanks to the National Youth Agency. I know when I was training as a youth worker, I spent a lot of time on their website. They've got amazing policies and resource library and research that really enabled me to kind of get into the thick of the work that I was doing and still to this day do. I still naturally navigate their four policies, procedures, protocols. They really are kind of a leading figurehead in drawing us all together. They've also been quite a prominent figure in actually getting an institute for youth work, really getting youth workers recognised and acknowledged. You have institutes for teachers, you get these lots of kind of post qualifications, but to get youth workers on that level, because they are doing just as powerful a job as your teachers, as your social workers and other educators out there. So it is really an opportunity to celebrate. So we said this year, the theme is fair chances and how youth work helps young people to brighter futures. And that's, I mean, it's massive. You can talk for weeks and weeks on how the youth work does that. But it's been broken down into little sectors. And the first one is education. So we know that education is a formal process that young people are put through, whether it be homeschooled, alternative provision, or in a typical mainstream school. We know that it's compulsory for young people to go up until the age of 18. And they'll take their formal examinations and progress on to further education, higher education, employment, training. But how does youth work support that? And when I talk a lot about my own experiences and from both as a young person growing up and working with young people now. For some young people, education isn't necessarily their favourite thing. And I know for me it wasn't. So I used to go to youth club hating school. My youth workers would be like, but why? I don't understand. And coach me through it and actually get me to see the light. And they really helped me in actually understanding why education was important and why just concentrating on PE might not be the best idea. They supported me in my sporting achievements, but they also encouraged me to take an interest in my other academic study. And that was just through the informal talks. And it didn't seem like they were forcing me to go to school. They just allowed me to make the decisions by myself. So it was a big impact on keeping me in school and actually getting me to year 11 and finishing school. Nowadays, when I see young people, it's quite similar. Oh, the teachers don't like me, they hate me, da-da-da. It's about getting them to recognise some of these behaviours, acknowledge some of these things and get them to start thinking about it differently and looking at it differently. So youth work, again, plays a massive support role in that. It's also a big thing when it comes to the mental health and the stress of young people in school. There's a lot of pressure put on young people through parents, through schools. I've been in certain schools and in the lead up to GCSEs on the whiteboard, they've got 10 days to go. That's quite a big stress for young people who are about to take some of the biggest exams of their life so far. And so these additional pressures really do mount to the young people's mental health well-being and their stress and the anxiety. And youth workers have got a key role to kind of really reassure the young people. So they come into youth club, how are you doing today? Oh, I'm stressed. And it's an outlet. It's an opportunity for the young people to kind of release that valve and just say why they're stressed. And whilst parents can do it, sometimes parents don't realise they're probably applying an additional stress. Yeah, you might be stressed now, but you need to study for that maths exam. You need an A. You need to. This is additional pressure. So whilst even as parents are trying to encourage their young people, sometimes they're actually adding stress they didn't realise they're doing. So youth workers have that ability to just listen and allow the young people to release that valve of stress and really give them that time and opportunity and space. And there's some brilliant projects out there that do mental health awareness. Pixel Learning deliver mental health awareness workshops through the use of video, using the Stranger on the Bridge documentary. Fantastic workshops. Young Minds, there's lots of awareness out there for young people on mental health, but what they do then need is the follow-up support. Whilst there is hundreds and hundreds of organisations out there supporting young people with mental health, we all know that young people like to go to familiar faces. So us as youth workers being able to be there to support them on that really allows them the opportunity to release that tension and that valve. Friendships in schools, again, I do a lot of ongoing work, especially with young ladies for myself at the moment. Every week it's changed. One week they're friends, the next week they're best friends, the next week it's the biggest argument. And again, it's being able to help the young people manage those relationships. I touched in previous videos about how these days the social media plays a massive, massive part with young people. The fact that they're constantly uploading photos, wanting to get this recognition, wanting to get this attention. And if they don't get the number of likes, or if so-and-so doesn't like that picture, but like someone else's picture, it's war. They're mortified, and trying to, again, let them know it's okay that somebody might have genuinely missed the video or the post or the selfie. It's okay that friendships do have nigglies and bumps and ups and downs, because that's what friendships and life's about. And again, I remember as I was growing up, I'd go and tell my youth worker everything. And at the time, it was the biggest thing in my life. The fact that I'd fallen out with my friend, my life was over. How am I going to progress in life? But now I look back and I laugh, especially as I sit and listen to the girls I work with now telling me the same stories. But I just sit and I listen and I smile and I give encouragement, and I do, again, coach them through that, because that's what they want, that's what they need, a listening ear. And then next week I turn up and they're best friends again, and I'm just like, I giggle to myself. And one young person said, "Miss, why are you smiling?" I said, "Because I said it'll be okay." "Ah, but miss, ah." But it's good. And that's how youth work really does support the education network. The after school clubs, the lunchtime groups, the additional activities that are placed within schools, the Duke of Edinburgh, Youth Achievement Awards, all these brilliant organisations that go into schools to do brilliant youth work that enhance the school curriculum, enhance the young person's schooling life, take some of the pressure off of the teachers, who we already know are really, really overpressured, and just enabling them to have something different, which builds that safe space, builds that environment. So again, I open the floor. I'd like any questions, any comments, any your thoughts and your feelings. What's been your pivotal moment in youth work? How have you changed? What do you do to support the education system through youth work? Offering a space for study. We know that, especially in London, I come from London, a lot of my knowledge is London youth based, and overcrowding in homes and the access to technology in some homes is limited. So to be able to have a space where young people can come and just study, just get out of a really crowded home. If they've got younger siblings climbing all over the laptop, wanting to play on the laptop, it's the only laptop of the home. That in itself is quite stressful, and the young person can't study. So to be able to have a space where they can go, they can study in peace and quiet, just ask, bounce ideas off. And there's been many a time I have no idea what the subject is. It's higher maths and I'm just about lower maths, and they're just by asking me the question and working it out verbally out, they've come across the answer themselves. So again, massive opportunities for youth work to support education. Please leave any comments below, share, like, discuss. These videos are here just to create discussion, to create forums, to be able to enable us to support even more young people. So this is a celebration. Like I said, this is Youth Work Week 2016. I'm Louise McNestry, founder and CEO of BU Training. Been doing youth work now for 16 years, have grown up through a youth club, first engaged with youth clubs when I was 13, and have never looked back. And because of that, I'm so thankful that I'm here with the ability to go and touch and change so many young people's lives on a daily basis. And I'm proud to say I'm a youth worker. And this week is something I really am taking seriously, because it is a week to be recognised and acknowledged. So I say thank you to all my youth workers that saw me as a young, stroppy teenager, to my mentors, to my managers, to my tutors at university, to the online resources, to everybody that has come across in my journey that has enabled me and supported me and given me those words of encouragement, and to the young people for being them and just bringing so much joy, just so much joy to what I do. It's not a job, it's what I love, and I'm so thankful for that. So have a wonderful Monday, and I'll see you soon.